Warning: Alan and JJ Johnson are not professional comedians. During this program, you will be exposed to unfiltered dad jokes in their most potent and raw form, dads telling them to each other. Watching this video may lead to serious physical harm, including facepalm concussions, head-shaking whiplash, and uncontrollable groaning. Proceed at your own risk.
Hey everybody, I'm Alan.
And I'm JJ.
And this is Two Dads and a Joke. We're here to give you a 6-pack of dad jokes and just a shot of parenting advice. JJ, I hear there's a lot of struggle going on around pro sports. That you're not able to do sports this fall.
Yeah.
College ball, all that sort of stuff. I mean, is there something in particular sports-wise you're disappointed it's not coming down?
My Yankees are still playing, and Big 12 football's still playing. I mean, I'm in Big 12 country, so.
Okay, so you've got your football.
I got it.
With all of the crazy stuff that's been going on, we've had murder hornets, we've had
I know it.
Meth alligators, lots of things. They were looking at some of these crazy hybrid animals possibly to go play in the sports like football. They drafted some and tried it out. But do you know what kind of insect they wouldn't let try out for football?
I have no idea.
A fumblebee.
Oh man. So, the other day my kids got these new shoes. They're like neon green and they're Velcro. And, my son asked me why my shoes aren't Velcro. And I said, I'm not going to buy anything with Velcro on it. And you know why I told him that?
Why is that?
It's a total ripoff.
It's a ripoff. I love it. Love it. I used to have the Velcro shoes. I love my Velcro shoes.
Yep.
Yeah, so folks, that's the kind of stuff you can expect from us out on the interwebs. We have lots of crazy, silly jokes out there, and we curate your jokes. So we like to find other people's jokes. But we also are a little more talented than this, especially JJ here. JJ, why don't you tell them about what you do in your spare time when you're not telling these bad jokes?
I am the author of the middle grade series, Iggy and Oz, and Iggy and Oz Plastic Dinos of Doom just won the Realm Award this past July. And book 2 in the Iggy and Oz series, Iggy and Oz The Soda Pop Wars, is coming out October 27th, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And book 2 in my series just came out. Still small voice. There are some dad jokes in here if you can find them, but they're well placed, makes sense. Not like the stuff you find on our social media that's all just kind of bad. I got a good one for you. If from Jewel Chappelle says, if you boil a funny bone, what does it become?
I have no idea.
A laughing stock.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna use that.
Wasn't that humorous?
It is. I'm gonna use that one with my wife because she's a chef for a living.
There you go.
Yeah, she'll like that one. So it might get me some. It'd probably get me more than just kicked out of the kitchen for the day.
Nice.
So, did you hear about the circus fire?
No. What happened with the circus fire?
It was intense.
Oh, that's good. You know what can be really intense?
What's that?
Dressing your kids.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about it.
Would you not do that? Now, I don't know about you, but we didn't grow up with a lot at my house.
Yeah.
We didn't have much money. I remember going to kindergarten in like 1978 in sort of 1960 era red jeans that had patches. I mean, we just didn't have money. That just was how it was. And so I guess there's this thing called matching that happens with clothes. Like clothes are supposed to go together. Did you know that, JJ?
No, and when I dress my kids to take them to church, they don't match very well.
So I'm here to give you a quick lesson in matching. So if I were to give you a Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
and some plaid pants,
Ooh.
is that a match?
No.
And I mean, like, yeah, that not a match. Okay, that's good. That you got a point on that one. Okay, so what if I give you striped shorts
Okay.
and a striped shirt?
Oh, no way.
Okay, you can do some matching here.
I think I can. Okay.
I think you can. Okay, so what if I give you a light denim shirt
Okay.
and a light denim jeans?
See, yeah, I do that.
You do that, I do that? No. That's a fail, apparently. Apparently that doesn't work. And so, dads out there are a lot of rules that you need to be aware of.
Okay.
And so, I really thought that I finally had a winner with this Granimals thing. Because you could take the two animals and put them together and it would be a match. And
Yeah.
that was great. But they don't make Granimals for 12-year-olds. So... So I had to learn some rules. So I'm gonna give a nice visual guide out on our Instagram and whatnot to help guys figure out what's in match and what's not, because I didn't know, and I got in trouble so much for that.
Is this like the you can't wear white after Labor Day type thing, or?
No, just the basics. Like if you've got that, if you've got your kid and they've got that Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Try some khaki shorts. That'll work, right? That'll work.
Yeah.
And if they do have, blue jeans and a blue shirt, maybe you want to go with a different color shirt.
I gotcha. I'm with you now.
Or a striped shirt, right? Like that's a thing you can do, because if one's a solid and one's a stripe, apparently those match.
All right.
So, pro dad tips on matching. I didn't know any of this stuff, and finally I made it through a Sunday one time when my kids all matched. It was amazing. So, there you go.
Nice.
Pro tips. And so one of the other things at my church anyway that we had coffee. You were talking about coffee before. Why couldn't a coffee bean go out and play?
I have no idea.
He was grounded.
Oh man. All right. So I got one more, but I'm gonna save it till the very end. So
Yeah.
that'll be my third one.
So let's talk a little bit about Romans 12:3 here. Bring it back around and get a little serious for stuff. This one says, by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think with sober judgment, each according to the measure of faith that God has assigned. So what do you think about this one?
Oh man, it comes all the way back around to humility. Humility is such a hard thing, and I think sometimes I think when we think of pride, sometimes I think it's like we think it's boasting, we think it's being just arrogant or something like that. But pride is also when we don't always want to accept somebody else's help. And I've been there many times. It is humbling to accept somebody else's help. I remember right after high school. My story is I failed out of high school, and I had a family come alongside me that kind of figured out what was going on, and they wanted to help me get those last 2 credits, graduate high school, and get into college. I didn't want them to help me. Part of it was, and it was a pride issue, and it was one of those things like, no, I can do it. I can do it. I don't want to bother you. And the mother set me down. She says, sometimes God brings people into our life to give us the opportunity to be blessed. And the worst thing you can do is rob somebody of the opportunity to bless you. And that right there was the moment I kind of really got a first time glimpse of humility and stopped thinking of myself as being the one that can do it all, that sometimes we do need to ask for help. So when I think of this verse, I always think of just being truly humble. And it's not just the humility of not being arrogant and that sense of pride, but it's also the humility of sometimes God places people in our lives to come along beside us and to hold us up whenever we're going through that rough time. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I think the big thing is not thinking yourself more highly than you ought, in the sense of, I heard a really smart guy at one point say, he had been like the general director of some, UN or something like that. And he went to an event, and when he was the general director, they gave him like 5-star treatment and ceramic mugs and whatnot. And the next year he came back to the same event, and he was no longer the general director, and he had to get himself to the event, and he was walking around with a styrofoam coffee cup of, kind of bad coffee he bought off a street vendor. And he said, the honor being placed was on the role, not on me. And so I took away from that, and something that I want to instill in my kids is, at the end of the day, we're all fallen, broken, and sinful in one way or the other. And we're no better than anybody else from that perspective. And so while we may have a skill, we can't let that puff us up to say we're better than somebody else. And if we actually are, right, if there's something that you have a skill and someone else in the body of Christ doesn't have that skill, then you have an accountability to help them in whatever way that you can, but not think not be prideful about that, thing that God granted you, right? In the end, it's by the grace of God that we have the skills, abilities, and what we have. And so it's just really important in my mind to help our kids understand that, yes, you're really good at soccer, or you're really good at this, or you're really good at that. But number one, there's always somebody better, right? And number two, if you're really good at it, how are you helping someone else be good at it, right? I mean, that's kind of the bottom line. And so, one of the things my kids have done that's pretty cool, we've got a trampoline. And I remember seeing one of my kids teach another kid how to flip on the trampoline. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's the best time to jump on a trampoline?
When?
Springtime.
Oh, man. So the other day, there was an ambulance. And my kids goes, "Is that an ambulance?" And, we were driving, and I pulled over to the side of the road like you're supposed to. And it zipped past with the sirens blaring. And the kids looked at me and they go, "Was that an ambulance?" And I said, "Yeah, but they're not going to sell that much ice cream if they keep going that fast." That was a bad one.
What's that?
It's about the same look my kids gave me. But hey.
Oh, sometimes it's not even a way homer. You just, what? No, I love it. Well, everybody, thanks for another episode. We'll catch you next time.
All right, see ya.